Okay, so in this module, we're going to talk very much about team spirit. Many people obviously work in teams, but very few people really understand the dynamic of teams. So there's a various presentations I want to go through with you, and this is the first one, which is just a basic overview, really. So as you can see from the quote at the bottom, high quality teams are grown rather than merely assembled. It is not that they require long periods of time, but they do demand and necessitate high quality time. So the point the quote is saying is that you don't just put a load of people together in a room and form a team. You've actually got to put deliberate attention on it, and it doesn't have to take a long time, but it does need high quality time, and that's the important phrase in this particular quote. The way I would liken it to is that I very much see teams as a living organism, and it can grow if you add energy to it. You nurture it in the right way, but equally it can reduce in size if you take energy away from it. You don't look after it well, or you have people who don't want to make the team work, and the spirit of the team can grow or shrink as needs be. So, what is team spirit? So, you often see teams who've won big games and you see them celebrating on the field, and I often think that that can sometimes paper over the cracks. So, sometimes you can have what appears to be a great team spirit, and it's made to look that way because of the way the players celebrate after a win. But I think it's a lot more deeper than that. And team spirit really can be defined as willingness to act as a member of a group. So put aside self-interest, put aside what your own personal motivation is, and commit to the team and be selfless in helping that team become successful. The truth is that individuals are important to their teams, and their willingness to adapt their behaviour to enhance the team performance is crucial. So as leaders, what we need to be able to do is to influence people to adapt their behaviour to enhance team performance. And we need to give them a strong reason why they should adapt their behaviour. Why working for this team is important. Why putting aside your self-interest to help the team function is important. And that's the trick in building team spirit. And you also need interdependence. So you can't get a high-performing team if you have individuals operating on their own agenda. And people have to make a choice to work as part of the team. And as again, our leaders is to influence that choice and get those players and people to understand the benefits of working in this team. So how do teams grow? A group of talented performers cannot be gathered together and then perform as a great team. There will be a team of great talent, but not a team. I think I've seen this in sport many times, where you get a collective group of highly paid professional athletes, players, in different sports, put them together and assume that they will go on and win the tournament or the relevant competition. But all they are is a team of great talent. They're not a team. And we see it time and time again. Leicester City, probably a great example last year of a team that came together, put aside self-interest and performed way above expectations with less talent than some of the opponents that they beat. Sport has plenty of teams who do not want to or choose to give energy to real team development. They remain teams of talent. Their individual probably wants to perform more, but primarily for himself. So again, I come back to the point, whose responsibility is it to make the team grow? Certainly you want people in your team, the team members who are selfless and who choose to make the team work. But also as a leader, you need to be the person that fosters that and drives that commitment through your influence and power and the powers of your motivation, and ultimately selecting the right people to work in your team. The sense of belonging to a team may take more time and energy to generate. Without this sense, a high performance is unlikely. So they have to have a sense of belonging to the team. And I come back to the point about how you articulate the reason why this team is special is absolutely critical in forming team spirit. And there's always a reason why. You've just got to find it, you've got to tap into it, you've got to explore it, and then you've got to describe it in rich detail to the people who are working in the team. And I think what you find then is that they'll do whatever they can to make the team work. So how do teams grow? From a team to reach its potential, it has to be grown and nurtured. Teams are living organisms that have the ability to and capacity to change. And that comes back to the very first point I made about teams and team spirit. Imagine that organism in front of you, that life form in front of you, that's growing as you add more spirit to it by doing a great off-field, off-site presentation, or articulating the reason why, or celebrating the small victories, or rewarding people and recognising people's contribution to the team. And having success ultimately, obviously, that's going to help grow as well. But it's not the precursor. You don't get wins, and that ultimately generates the team spirit, because no team wins forever. And if you don't have strong team spirit, when the losses come, that's when the real spirit is tested. So what we're going to do in the next few presentations is just look at what are the qualities of high performing teams, and hopefully give you some examples of how to improve them.